On the Simon Owen Show, a reading from the Book of Bruce.
This is a Christmas piece called It Takes a Child. We were the only family with children in the restaurant. I sat my son on a high chair and I noticed everyone was quietly eating and talking. Suddenly my son squealed with glee and pounded his fat baby hands on the high chair tray. His eyes were wide with excitement and his mouth was bared in a toothless grin. He wriggled and giggled with merriment, and I looked around and saw the source of his merriment. It was a man with a tattered rag of a coat, dirty, greasy and worn. His pants were baggy with a zipper at half-mast. His toes poked out of his would-be shoes. His shirt was dirty. His hair was uncombed and unwashed. His whiskers were too short to be called a beard, and his nose was so varicose it looked like a road map. We were too far from him to smell, but I was sure that he smelled. His hands waved and flapped around on loose wrists. "Hi there, baby. Hi there, big boy. I see you, Buster," the man said to my son. My wife and I exchanged looks. What do we do? My son continued to laugh and answer, "Hi there." Everyone in the restaurant noticed and looked at us and then at the old man. The old geezer was creating a nuisance with my beautiful baby. Our meal came and the man began shouting from across the room, "Do you know patty cake? Do you know peekaboo? Hey, look, who knows peekaboo?" Nobody thought the old man was cute. He was obviously drunk. My wife and I were embarrassed. We ate in silence, all except for my son, who was running through his repertoire for the admiring bum, who in turn reciprocated with his cute comments. We finally got through the meal and headed to the door. My wife went to pay the bill and told me to meet her in the parking lot. The old man sat poised between me and the door. As I drew closer to the man, I turned my back, trying to sidestep him and avoid any air he might be breathing. As I did, my son leaned over my arm, reaching with both arms in a baby's pick-me-up position. Before I could stop him, my son had propelled himself from my arms into the man's. My son, in an act of total love and trust and submission, laid his tiny head upon the man's ragged shoulder. The man's eyes closed, and I saw tears hover beneath his lashes. His aged hands, full of grime, pain, and hard labour, gently, so gently, cradled my baby's bottom and stroked his back. No two beings ever had loved so deeply for so short a time, and I stood awestruck. The old man rocked and cradled my son in his arms for a moment, and then he slowly opened and set them squarely on mine. He said in a firm, commanding voice, "You take care of this baby." Somehow I managed, "I will," from a throat that contained a stone. He pried my son from his chest unwillingly, longingly, as though he were in pain. I received my baby. The man said, "God bless you, sir. You've given me my Christmas gift." I said nothing more than a muttered thanks. With my son in my arms, I ran for the car. My wife was wondering why I was crying and holding my son so tightly. Through the innocence of a tiny child who saw no sin, who made no judgment, I had just witnessed unconditional love.